So I want you to follow me. This is what I want you to do. If you haven't already, I want you to check out a fighter by the name of Tyson Fury, 23-0 with 17 KOs. Go watch, I say, about 5 of his fights. I'm going to name some for you. Go watch his fight against Kevin Johnson. Go watch both his fights against Dereck Chisora. Watch his fight against Steve Cunningham. And what was the one where he punched himself in the face? I forgot. But I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live, February 7th, 2015. Here's the question. You got 33-0 with 32 KOs, the new WBC Heavyweight Champion of the world, Deontay Bronze Bomber Wilder, who defeated Bermane Stiverne basically with one hand. We find out later on Bermane Stiverne was basically severely dehydrated, making no excuses for him because Deontay Wilder beat him with one hand. Also, Wilder answered some questions for us that was burning in fans' minds as far as, can he go the distance? Can he take a punch? And what else does he have outside of that wild shit all, and outside of those wild hooks and forearms he be throwing at everybody? Well, he can fight. But then I look at 23-0 with 17 KOs, and I look at the fact that, well, in my personal opinion, one Dereck Chisora fight is worth 2 of those 32 other guys that Deontay Wilder had fought outside of Bermane Stiverne. In fact, 2 fights with Dereck Chisora, means about the same as Deontay Wilder defeating Bermane Stiverne. Styles make fights. So when I look at 2 fights with Dereck Chisora, when I look at Kevin Johnson, who Anthony Joshua was supposed to fight, very big fight that I wanted to see, Steve Cunningham, and I asked myself, well, wait a minute, whose resume is better even right now? Now, look at the fact that he beat a champion, okay. But realistically, that was a ghostly belt. That belt, that's the ghost belt of Vitaly Klitschko. Because you know why? Because Chris Arreola and Bermane Stiverne fought one time for to be the #1 contender to fight Vitaly Klitschko. Vitaly Klitschko, now the mayor of Kiev in the Ukraine, vacated that title. Then Chris Arreola and Bermane Stiverne fought again. But this time, not for a #1 contender, but for the actual title. So, looking at the fact that, well, could any of those 2 have beaten Vitaly Klitschko? Well, Chris Arreola had already got his face smashed in by him. Chris Arreola had already lost to Bermane Stiverne in that first fight and still was able to get a title shot in the next fight. And then Bermane Stiverne, well, could he beat Vitaly Klitschko? No. His face probably would have been smashed up. So then I asked myself, well, how would Bermane Stiverne do against Tyson Fury? And I think to myself, Tyson Fury just beat Dereck Chisora left-handed, and then not to mention he beat Dereck Chisora twice. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. He could probably stop Bermane Stiverne. Bermane Stiverne can stop him too if Tyson Fury decides to feed in. But Tyson Fury is a very smart fighter right now, and I understand I'm all over the place, and I understand that there's question marks around Tyson Fury too. And I completely understand where fans say, well, Deontay Wilder will knock him out. Deontay Wilder is too strong, too powerful for Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury went down against Steve Cunningham, who's a cruiserweight. I understand all that, but at the same time, if I was to pick a boxer, right, I'm picking Tyson Fury. Why? Because he can do it all. Now, when it comes to Deontay Wilder, the reason why I can't just pick him yet is because there's still questions. And also, let's be perfectly honest, a fighter with the body type and fight style as a Bermane Stiverne is tailor-made for a guy like Deontay Wilder. Just like a guy with the fight style of a Dereck Chisora is tailor-made for a guy like Tyson Fury. So it's like, for example, how would Deontay Wilder do against an Amir Mansour? How would he do against a Steve Cunningham? How would he do against a and I'm trying to name agile heavyweights, heavyweights that can move a little bit. Hell, even Alexander Povetkin, a Brian Jennings, Wladimir Klitschko, and I didn't say his name because he's fighting Brian Jennings. So I understand that Tyson Fury is, let me make sure you understand. Tyson Fury is the mandatory to fight Wladimir Klitschko, or Wladimir Klitschko will have to vacate his title. Unless Tyson Fury decides to fight Deontay Wilder next. But then you got Wladimir Klitschko, who wants Deontay Wilder, who's fighting Brian Jennings to get a shot at Deontay Wilder, even though he's the champion. You got to understand how the belts work and how the different governing bodies, meaning the WBO, WBA, and the IBF, have been working together basically to make unification bouts. So as it stands right now, it's supposed to be Wladimir Klitschko after it's going to be Wladimir Klitschko or Brian Jennings versus Tyson Fury next. But Wladimir Klitschko and Brian Jennings want Deontay Wilder next. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury are going at each other on Twitter. And then you got a fight that fans would accept if Wladimir Klitschko fought Shannon Briggs, just, you know, as a voluntary type thing. And also, you know, fans would accept that fight. And frank and truth be told, Shannon Briggs did exactly what he wanted to do as far as getting attention around him. Now, a fight that I would want to see, I would either want to see him versus David Haye, meaning Shannon Briggs, or maybe an Antonio Tarver, something like that. But it's just on my own personal opinion. I'm just saying, you know, look at two of the fighters. Now you got one, right? Deontay Wilder, right? About 6'6", closer to 6'7", very long, very athletic. And then you got the other guy that's 6'9". You're not always in the best shape, but for a big fight, he will get in shape, and that's been proven. You got the 6'9" Tyson Fury, who can box. He may not be as agile, but at the same time, he's not dumb, and he's not. I guess for people who don't watch him, they think he's one of them tall, oaky. He's gonna keep lumbering towards you and shit. You know, like kind of sloppy heavyweights. He's not. He's got sharp hands for a guy to be, you know, that tall. But that's just my own personal opinion, of course. People want to slaughter you for your opinion and say, no, T-Street, you're wrong and all that. It's like, yo, can I have my opinion on who would win or not? Like, you know, that's what boxing is. You pick a side. But my personal opinion, you know, if I was to pick someone to beat, and I know I picked against Deontay Wilder for Bermane Stiverne. I know I picked against him, but when it comes to a fight like that, once again, I would pick against him until proven wrong. And then if proven wrong, I will come up here just like I did after Deontay Wilder defeated and dismantled Bermane Stiverne with one hand despite the dehydration, and I'll pay homage and be humble. Until then, I'm entitled to my opinion. So all I say is, you know, just look at it, and I challenge you, go look at some Tyson Fury fights. Watch them in full. People say he got knocked down by Steve Cunningham. I say this again. It's like if you really get the fact that he was giving him free punches, I'm thinking like, well, and then not to mention, he did stop Steve Cunningham and knock him out later on in the fight. You know, I'm like, okay, all right. You know, of course we know that Deontay Wilder has been stunned before, you know, Nikolai Further, and also, you know, those sparring footage that's been around here. You know, I understand. But at the same time, like I said, Bermane Stiverne was tailor-made for him, just like Dereck Chisora is a tailor-made fighter for Tyson Fury. So what I want to see more, what I want to see, of course I want to see Wladimir Klitschko versus Deontay Wilder. But if I could pick a fight, you know, that I would want to happen in the United States, I would say Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder for one, because the press conferences is going to be crazy. The press conferences is probably going to be the best heavyweight press conferences ever. And you got to know Tyson Fury is. You got to know that Deontay Wilder's got a mouthpiece too. The face-off, everything is just going to be crazy. You know, and Americans, we love that shit. We love for Tyson Fury to come over here, start talking all that shit. We love it. You know, even though over there, the British Boxing Board keeps censoring him and all that. And I understand the culture up there over in the UK is different. And you look at Tyson Fury as being a bit of a loudmouth. But at the same time, you wonder why guys don't get title shots and they can't sell fights, you know, or sell tickets. It's like, you know, like sometimes you have to embrace being a villain if you're certain boxers, you know, talk shit, but at the same time, you know, look at the Floyd Mayweather formula. People come to see him lose, you know, so I don't know why they're so strict on him over there. And I understand you can't allow him to go too far, but at the same time, if you look at, well, what's been going on with Adrian Broner, he does and says whatever he wants outside of, you know, they know, okay, hold up. Now, when it comes to implying or insinuating any type of racism, like, for example, when he said, fucking Mexican. It's different than a Mexican and African. But it's the way it's insinuated. And they said, you know what? We know you're not necessarily being racist, but we just want to make sure you know there's a limit to the shit we allow you to say. And the same thing with Tyson Fury. They all pissed off that he cursing and anything at press conferences. And I'm thinking to myself, just like he said, it's like this is boxing. People get hurt. Boxing is about people getting fucked up. Anyway. T-Street Controversy Live, Real Combat Media. Ooh! I wish I could show you. I'm watching highlights. It just keep catching my attention. T-Street Controversy, T-Street Controversy Live, realcombatmedia.com, T-Street Controversy on Twitter. Oh, the Facebook forum I was talking about. All you gotta do is scroll all the way down to the description box of this video, and you'll see the link to my Facebook page. Yes, it's my real name. It's my Facebook page, and also it's extremely active. And what I say is this: I let people in like once every 2 weeks or so. So you may see that you sent a friend request, but just give it some time, especially if you're legit, on my account, because I get like a lot of freaks and people making fake accounts and shit like that. Then you'll get it. So just relax. T-Street Controversy, T-Street Controversy Live.